Welcome back to Fowler and Friends Fantasy Fishing League. We got a good one coming up. A really good one. Cayuga, New York. This lake is loaded. A little partial to me, seeing as how I grew up back east. May have went to college in the Finger Lakes. May know a thing or two about Cayuga Lake. Just a thing or two. So we're excited for this one. Always good to see a tournament go to a state or in a lake that I hold near and dear to my heart. So let's go over the last tournament results from Gunnersville. We had a really good finish. We finished 562nd with 582 pounds and 5 ounces in that tournament for our guys. Let's round of applause for Jacob Wheeler, our winner. Jacob just ran away with that one. Not to leave out the other top 10 anglers, we got Jacob Wall, Adrian Avina, David Dudley, Matt Becker, Edwin Evers, Takahiro, Bradley Roy, Randall Tharp, and Ott Defo. Congratulations on all you guys for your top finish. And if you had all 10 of those guys, hopefully you enjoy your new boat and your new truck. But congratulations. It was a very, very interesting tournament to watch. We got a couple other things to celebrate. So our celebration tonight is going to be done with the good old bourbon. And not just any bourbon. We got ourselves one of the Ben Milliken Mystic Mountain Outlaw bourbons. Wow. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. Got a lot of flavor notes in it, and so we're currently sitting overall for this season in 867th place with only a couple tournaments to go. So as long as we finish out strong, we're a couple hundred pounds out of the top 25 and 300 pounds and some change out of first place. So we got a lot of room to go, but if a couple people stumble and we do good, I mean, I think we're there. A couple good tournaments for us and a couple bad tournaments for some other people, and you never know, we might end up in that top 25. And also 2 weeks ago, and I hadn't celebrated it yet, so we're going to celebrate it tonight. Congratulations to Justin. He caught his personal best largemouth bass here in Texas at 6.5 pounds. It's a giant for me. I know I'm in the land of giants where there's double digits, and we're still working on that. But cheers to doing good in fantasy fishing and catching them bigs out on the lake like Dustin Connell. So I want to bring up the results from Cayuga in 2022. Now, a couple things to keep in consideration here is the format change. 2022 was every fish counts, and this year it's 5 fish. But if you look at it, the way it broke down, even though I know if you guys remember that epic tournament, I mean, Dustin Connell just cranked on him. You know, he went on 2 back-to-back winning streak off Cayuga, from Cayuga to Mille Lacs. So just destroying smallmouth and largemouth. So a little bit different this going around. We were later in the season last year, so it played more to some people's strengths, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So last year's results from Cayuga: Dustin Connell won it, Jacob Wheeler was in second, you had Andy Montgomery in third, Terry Scroggins in fourth, Zach Burge in fifth, Dakota Eber in sixth, Justin Lucas in seventh, Cody Meyer in eighth, Elton Jones in ninth, and Michael Neal in 10th. And comparing last year to this year, a lot of names on that list. Like if you compare current momentum for a lot of those anglers compared to who did really well there last year, I mean, you got at least 5 solid picks for this year. A couple other things to take into consideration. We're still enjoying our celebratory drink here. So let's look at the lake conditions and the lake itself. The lake's 38 miles long, it's 3.5 miles wide, has 95 miles of shoreline, and has a max depth of 436 feet deep. The number of fish species in the Northeast is abundant. I didn't list them all, but just the main predatory fish and then the main forage. So we have lake trout, Atlantic salmon or landlocked salmon, rainbow trout, northern pike. There's some others in there, chain pickerel, things like that, rock bass, different things. Then you have largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, main predators in the lake. Now the forage is just pretty cool. You have bluegill, pumpkin seed, crappie, yellow perch, alewives, smelt. Smelt's one that a lot of people don't know about. Cobie, gizzard shad, round goby, and gizzard shad. So a lot of different forages and a lot of different forage areas. I mean, so your bluegill, your pumpkin seeds, and your yellow perch are, grass, shallow, per se. Your alewives, smelt, and gizzard shad are usually pelagic. They're out over deep water. And then your round goby is deep to shallow on the bottom. So literally there is a forage class to mimic in just about any depth of water and range. And they're abundant in this lake. So narrowing down productive areas is going to be key for this. Now, a couple things to take into consideration from last year to this year. Last year they were there later in the season, August time. We're in June. June in upstate New York is spawn, pre-spawn spawn, and that's what it's shaping up to be. We got, it looks like, according to the Lake Monster website, Cayuga Lake as of today, 5/31/23, is sitting between 57 and 61 degrees. And they're gaining a couple degrees every day. There's been some warm temperatures, and the weather's going to change for the tournament. So the weather's going to shift to, instead of highs being in the mid 70s, low 80s, it's going to shift to upper 60s to mid 70s, 68 to 77. For the entire tournament, we're going to have a mix of clouds, sun, rain, thunderstorms. I think the last day is all sunny. So our water temps are there, 57 to 61. Those northern strains will spawn right about there. There's a few kayak tournaments mid-May in Cayuga that you can go reference on the good old YouTube, and they were pulling up at the end of May. They were pulling up mid into May. So we're looking at a spawning tournament, and maybe I don't think we'll be post-spawn. I think we'll just, some sections of the lake will be pre-spawn and some sections of the lake will be spawn. So it's it's hopping, the life's there, everything's going. Unique thing about up there is it's like just waves and waves of spawners, and I feel from my experiences fishing around the country, more fish stay shallow in those northern regions even after the spawn than they do down here in the south. I think more fish stay shallow up there. Just from my experiences, I catch more fish deeper out here come after the spawn and stuff than I did up there. I could still catch a ton of fish after the spawn in New York on any number of lakes really shallow, 10 feet or less. So, but they have huge expansive grass flats at 10 feet and different things that you don't see like through your Tennessee River highland reservoirs, and then your lowland reservoirs down here in like Texas and stuff. it's very unique with the relationship to the very deep water and the shallow water. So it's going to be an interesting tournament. Really excited and looking forward to this one. So let's get into my picks for this week. My Group A, I have Edwin Evers, Jacob Wheeler, Dustin Connell, Kevin Van Dam, and Zach Burge. The only one that's iffy in that group, and I always pick him because he's like, I like him, he's my guy, is Dustin Connell, and this is going to be a spawning tournament. I'm hoping he does okay. We'll see. He'll be the first one to admit he doesn't like spawning tournaments. That's what this one's going to be. But the rest of those, Edwin Evers, he's got huge momentum this year. In contention for Angler of the Year. Just great finishes all year. He's up there. He's going to place well. Jacob Wheeler, coming off a win, huge momentum. He did very well there last year. He doesn't mind a spawn fishing tournament. He can do, well-rounded, well-versed. Kevin Van Dam, I'm really, he's the GOAT. It's his retirement season, and I just have a gut feeling these northern swing tournaments going out, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. These mix of smallmouth and largemouth fisheries that we got coming up to end out the season, I just have a gut feeling he's gonna be there, and I wouldn't bet against him. He's got a lot to prove going out. You always want to go out on a winning note, right? Tom Brady didn't go out on a losing note. So then Zach Burge, same thing. He's had good momentum all year, great in the point standings. He's been consistent. He's well versed in fishing, and I think he'll be able to find some stuff and do some stuff in this tournament to get himself up there. My Group B, I got Michael Neal, Adrian Avina, David Dudley, Andy Montgomery, Terry Scroggins. Michael Neal he's got good momentum. He's been placing well all season. He's got some wins under his belt. So he was one of those ones on that beginning list. He did fairly well there last year. Adrian Avina, he's kind of got some momentum going for him. Him and Mark Daniels are a little bit behind DC and Wheeler in the group, so I think they're going to be extra motivated this week. David Dudley, he does good on these northern swings. He does good on Champlain. I expect to see him up there, especially on a spawning tournament. Andy Montgomery and Terry Scroggins, these were my sneaky picks, and they placed well there last year in the fall. They both like northern fisheries. Then again, two well-rounded, lots of experience in both of those anglers, and I expect to see them up there on those leaderboards throughout this tournament. So yeah, lots to celebrate with good standings in the fantasy fishing, catching a PB here in Texas. So I hope all your guys' fantasy picks are doing good. Hopefully you get your top 25, first place, win that truck boat, or rod and reel combo, tight lines on the weekends. Go out there and catch your personal bests, or just catch a good time, whatever you're there for. Fowler and Friends, signing off.